everyone and welcome back to our channel. In this week's video, I want to discuss a very important and exciting topic, the AI-driven platforms versus real developers, and which approach is better in this fast-paced world. Before I begin this video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notification button not to miss any useful information that we share here. And now let's get on into the video. So obviously everyone has already heard about different AI-driven platforms that can generate a code and develop different apps and integrations for you within a very short time. But there are a lot of concerns whether you should use them or not, and whether real developers will do the job much better. So to break it down, I want to talk about different pros and cons of both AI-driven platforms and the real developers. So let's start off from AI-driven platforms and talk about advantages of using them. And the first advantage is obviously the speed of development. So AI-driven platforms can generate the code or develop you something within hours or days, which is much faster than a real developer that would try to do this task. So it will save you a lot of time, or it can save you a lot of time. And obviously the second advantage is the cost effectiveness that is tied up to the time saving, because it will generate it much faster. That means that you will spend less money on performing this task or performing this development comparing to paying an hourly rate for a real developer. Obviously, the AI-driven platforms are also costly and they can be expensive, but it still can be cheaper than using real developers. Another very huge advantage of using AI-driven platforms is a user-friendly interface. A lot of them provide a drag and drop interface, so you can easily manage that and develop something without the knowledge of the code. There's a lot of AI-driven platforms with no code or low code development that can help the people that don't have any code knowledge to develop something. How it will work, that's another question, but in some cases it can work and can be very, very effective. Another advantage that I already kind of mentioned is that you don't really need technical expertise to use them. There's a lot of different AI-driven platforms that you can use without the technical knowledge and just understanding the logic of what you want to develop, and then you can perform that without the knowledge of the code or any of the coding languages. So you can do that within the AI-driven platform without the technical knowledge. There are obviously a lot of limitations to that, but for example, me as a marketer, I can now create a landing page using Zoho sites that doesn't require any code knowledge. I can just drag and drop different elements to the page and publish it and have a landing page. And more than 10 years ago, it wasn't almost possible. You needed to have an expertise in the team, and now I can do some of the tasks within the AI-driven platforms or just developer no code or low code platforms, which is very useful. So as you can see, there's a lot of advantages of using no code or low code development platforms or AI-driven platforms. But now let's talk about the disadvantages of using them. And the first and most vital one is the lack of customization and flexibility. Even though you can save a lot of time creating different things with no code or low code or AI-driven platforms, and you don't have to have technical skills, but the customization options usually are very, very limited within those platforms. So for example, I can create a landing page using Zoho sites or any other type of software, for example, even on Canva, but the customization options will be very, very limited or not possible. And for some of the complicated tasks, I would still need a technical assistance. But again, some of the features will not be possible to integrate within this landing page, for example, created on Zoho sites or over Canva. For that, you would need a custom development. The second disadvantage of using these platforms is the lack of scalability. It is very tied up to the customization options and flexibility, because if your business grows and you need more complicated tasks to be completed or more complicated things to be integrated, for example, within your website, it will be very hard to do using simple no-code or low-code development platforms that don't have the option to customize something with the code. For example, Zoho Sites has that option, and that's why it's a bit more flexible, but a lot of these platforms don't have this option. Another disadvantage of using the platforms is the dependency on them. So you will have to depend on the platform and the providers of this platform. So for example, for support or for the updates, some of the software can be outdated because it's not getting the updates from the developer. And with a custom solution, you can update it manually. So there's a lot of dependency on the platforms. You are also dependent on the pricing plans. For example, some of the software can rise up their pricing plans, and in the future it will not be profitable for you to use this platform, and it will be not that cost effective as it seemed at first. And another disadvantage and even a concern for using these AI-driven platforms, for example, is the ownership of the code and in general the privacy concerns. So some of the platforms have this thing mentioned in their terms of use that they are the owners of the code that you generate. So you can't claim the ownership over the product that you're using the AI generated code for. So that can be a problem for a company, and also there can be privacy concerns. So not all of the platforms, so for low code or no code development or AI driven platforms, have the GDPR compliance or HIPAA compliance. So you need to look into that and make sure that they are compliant with everything and that your data is secured and stored privately. So these are the main advantages and disadvantages of using the no-code, low-code, and AI-driven platforms. And now let's talk about the pros and cons of working with real developers. And we will start off from the first advantage of working with real developers, and obviously that's full customization and flexibility. While working with developers, they can fully customize the solution for you. They can develop a fully customizable solution for you, or they can use the different platforms and customize the platform within your needs. Obviously, with custom solutions, you're much more flexible and you can meet the specific needs of your business with working with real developers. The second advantage is obviously scalability and long-time growth. So if you're starting off the business and you already want to customize a solution for yourself and build something, you will easily scale up within this custom solution because the developers will customize it as you grow to the needs of your business. The third advantage is full ownership and IP control. So obviously everything that developers are writing the code for you or working on your project for you, it is fully your ownership. So you're not dependent on the platform and you are the full ownership of the product that you create or the system that you're working with. So for example, if you're developing an application with a team of developers, you can expand it, migrate it, change the code without any legal concerns. And that is not always the case while using the platforms. And another advantage is the ability to handle complicated and unique tasks. Obviously, while using platforms, you have very limited functionality. Even if it has a very extensive functionality, it is still very limited comparing to working with a team of professionals. Obviously, they can handle any task that you like. You can find different teams for different tasks within the development process, and you can make sure that everything meets your specific needs. Especially if you need a lot of customization depending on the business that you're working with, developers will be a better option to go to rather than using an AI platform. And now let's talk about the disadvantages of working with real developers, and obviously that's higher costs of development. So obviously while working with a team of developers, you will have higher costs of the project and of development because it is more time consuming. You maybe will have to work with developers that have higher hourly rate for specific or more complicated tasks, and in general it tends to be more expensive than using obviously the platforms. The second disadvantage is obviously tied up to higher costs, and it's also a longer time of development. So obviously no code, low code, or AI driven platforms can generate solution for you much faster, and developers will take much more time to develop the similar solution that is customized to the needs of your business. So it's less time effective than using the platforms. And the third disadvantage is resource coordination. Obviously, you will have to work with people, talk with them. That's why we, for example, provide the discovery phase, so we don't have any concerns within the communication. But sometimes there can be some of the more effort that you have to put into the communication with the team of developers that you're working with. But for that, you really need to pick the team that you are comfortable to work with and that has an extensive discovery phase, that understands your business and caters the solutions for your business. So as you can see, both AI-driven platforms, no-code or low-code development platforms, and real developers have their pros and cons. And answering the question, which one is better, it depends. Obviously, it depends on the needs of your business, and in my opinion, the best approach is combining both. So I would highly suggest combining both of the approaches and developing the easy and low effort things with the platforms, and the things for your business and automations that need more customization, flexibility, and scalability. I would highly suggest going to the team of developers that can do that for you. And that's why we are here. The CRMOZ team combines the two approaches in one place using Zoho software. So Zoho software has the platforms for no-code, low-code development, and also it has the platforms that are already pre-built, but they can be easily customized with the use of code and with the use of our developers. So you basically get a solution out of the box, but it can be customized with our team, which is the best approach in my opinion. So you have the optimal speed of the project, you have optimized costs on the project of customization or development, and you have a complete solution that works specifically for your business. So if you want to get a solution for your business, it doesn't matter for what department, because Zoho provides all of the different apps for different departments of businesses, and you want to customize it, you can customize it with our team of CRMOZ. And if you want to learn more about Zoho integration, implementation, or customization, I would highly recommend booking a free consultation down below in the description box to learn more about how we combine those approaches and how Zoho software in combination with our CRMOZ team can create a solution specifically for your business, because we can not only customize Zoho for you, but also build custom solutions for your business, for example, a client portal or any other business solution. So again, if you want to learn more about that, I would highly recommend booking a free consultation with one of our experts by the link down below in the description box. So in conclusion, combining both approaches using the platforms and real developers would work the best in this fast-paced world and would be the most optimal by cost, by time, and by the solution that you get in the result that is fully customizable. If you have any questions about the platforms or working with real developers or any other questions related to this video, please leave them down in the comments below and we will make sure to answer all of them. And obviously, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next week's one.